Thank you guys so much. My name is Bernard Ariro, class of 98. Tom, it's been insightful following the presentation today. Just one more comment on the equipment. Would it be more impactful if they probably just do a list on what they need and if it can be fulfilled instead of maybe an assumption that they need the balls or they need this? Then maybe you would have faced a situation where you're being blocked. Just a suggestion.
No, no, no. Yeah. I think that's a good idea. You guys, this organization is very, very, very good. So I saw what everybody did. To build the gate. So I know anything is possible. It's a numbers game. And people that are committed to doing something. I just happen to be that my thing is sports, and I never like to advertise when I arrive. I just come in. And I like to surprise people, which is probably a mistake. I just like to come in, and when I come in, I usually bring a lot of goodies. So, uh, just like a couple of years ago, to my old neighborhood in Nyalenda Railways, I brought Ghost Muley and Adele Amroche, the former national team coaches. Just one morning I just showed up, and because I don't know, but also 2 years ago I had a testimonial game that we advertised, and it went very, very well. That was my testimonial march in Kisumu, and we gave a lot of stuff away. But this group is a lot more organized than most groups I know. So whatever decision you guys make, as to what is needed, yes, we can make it happen. We have the numbers, and we can raise money and make sure we don't even have to ship anything. We can buy stuff locally. So nothing has to be shipped. I just like to bring stuff with me that I collect, but it doesn't have to come from me. We can buy stuff locally. Yes.
Oh, thank you, my captain Benadariro. Fortunately, your classmate Gerald Odundo is the sport director, so he can assist us in getting the list. Any more questions, please? Any more questions?
Yes, Didan, this is George again.
Okay.
Yeah, Tom, I know your potential, and I know what you can do, since I know you pretty well.
Yes.
I know you have connections in Europe. You are very
Yes.
good friends with Michael Koth, the Origi family.
Yes.
So, in terms of getting players to go play in Europe, professional soccer, I don't know how it works. So, can you please just a brief explanation, and then maybe we can pick it from there.
So the professional soccer thing is a little bit harder, in all honesty. So I've been, so my own son is a player that's been to Europe a few times, to try out, and is a very good soccer player. We decided that college was the best option for him. So we've been to Germany, Denmark, Sweden, and in Finland. And pro soccer is not easy to because what happens in Europe is a lot of those kids go to the academies in Europe. Soccer here is good, but they're not at the same level as the Europeans. But again, there's always outliers. There's one or two people who may make it in Europe. Coming out of high school to go to Europe directly is gonna be a tall order. In all honesty, maybe somebody who was played for a club like Gormaya. There's opportunities are there. But you never say never. You never say never. I visited Mike not too long ago in Belgium, and we went to a place called Genk that produces some of the top players like De Bruyne, whatever. His own son Origi, Divock, was there. Went to Genk, and Tivo Courtois that you guys see on TV. Yeah, those are guys that are from Genk, a very small town in Belgium. So getting to Europe is not very easy, but it is possible. It's not. The opportunities are there. Again, the one most important thing is that when kids go there, they are ready, and that's why providing equipment to players in Kenya, is very, very important, because equipment is what you use to get you where you need to be as a soccer player. We didn't have much growing up, but now I realize, things like soccer balls are very, very, very important for people to play, right? But opportunities are there, yes. It's going to be tough for somebody, I'll be honest with you. Like I said, my own son has been out there 4 times, and he's a very good player, and we didn't make it. So we settled for Boston. He goes to Boston College now. So college is good enough for me. So if we can get kids to school, that's good enough for me. Yes, Wycliffe.
Okay, hi everyone. Okay, thanks for the opportunity. Consider Wycliffe class of 21. So basically, I was literally asking about hockey because that is where my interest in. If there's, if
Okay.
somebody can be linked with the field hockey and stuff, any opportunities, and really appreciate. Thanks.
Hockey is not big in the US. It's actually mostly a women's sport. But I have some hockey friends of mine like Clifford Dando and some guys from Kisumu that actually coach college in hockey in Pennsylvania. And I think hockey is pretty big in like places like New York, in Texas. That I've seen, we play hockey sometimes, but it's just for for fun. But there's no college scholarships for hockey that I know of in Texas, at least. I can do some research on it. George may guide us on that one because I think Canada has probably more hockey than the US does. There's more hockey in Canada, uh, but it's mostly played by women. I've never understood why, but there's not that much hockey here, really. But Canada, I think, has a lot of hockey on the men's side. I'm not sure at all, but I can do some research on it. But in the US, I know George, New York and Philly, and what are those called? Is that the East Coast or West Coast? I'm kind of get confused.
Yeah, there's a little bit of field hockey in the East Coast.
Yeah, a little bit of it. It's
Yeah.
not that big, but it's
Yeah.
mostly women actually. So Clifford Endo, who was a he was a friend of mine and a former hockey player from Kenya, is a coach. A guy named Victor Wino, also that I went to school with in Kisumu Boys, actually is also a coach, but they coach women. I've never heard of men's hockey in the US. If there is, it's very, very, very little, but I'll do some research on it.
Okay, thanks. I'll
Yeah.
appreciate.
Yeah, just to add on that, Wycliffe, I also played field hockey at Homa Bay School, and when I moved to the US, college-wise, there was no hockey team, so I ended up playing with the ladies hockey team in a neighboring university. And after school, I played with them a little bit more. Moving to Canada, I think ice hockey is more popular, and you'd get scholarships with ice hockey. I don't know how to introduce ice hockey in Kenya. I don't know if it would be possible, but definitely you'll get a scholarship with ice hockey.
Yeah, ice hockey is big, yeah, in Canada and also some places in the US, yeah, but not field hockey. I know it's mostly women, yeah.
Okay. More questions, please. Philip, go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, George. Thank you, Tom, for the presentation and for the eye opener. I've listened to Tom, and I have one thing that have come from Tom. This is more or less like a comment, not a question. Is that he said a couple of times that he's working with the teams that are organized. So he has repeated organized, I think more than 3 times. So one thing that I picked from you, Tom, is that if you are to work with a team like Homa Bay School, they need to be organized. The message that I picked from you is that we need to do more. The school need to do more so that they are organized, so that even if somebody decides to work with them, it becomes very easy to work with them. There's
Yes.
this one mentality that I've also observed when people are in high school, where parents tell them that, of course, you went to school to study,
Yep.
extracurricular activities are either second or third.
Yep.
And if you don't find an institution that encourages, uh, I mean, academic and extracurricular activities to happen at the same times, sometimes you find that schools, and I think that is one of the reasons that, to answer George, that could be the reason why soccer was very good in Homa Bay in the 1980s. I think the last time that Homa Bay played some serious soccer was maybe 1990. After that, soccer has gone down. It's because over time, the administrator has put more effort into academics, and
Yes.
they have, and the extracurricular activities have become a second time. You remember that during our time, we used to have some teachers like Teacher Manoa, who really took the idea of sport very seriously and even used to bring players. The only problem is that these players, by then, we did not know that these opportunities exist. So my advice to whoever can take this message to the management of school is that, seriously, they need to develop these other extracurricular activities and also encourage them and tell them that, yes, you can still be good in sports. At the same time, you need to be very good in academics. I've seen that one happening in other schools, such as Maseno, where
Yep.
they will still be able to perform very well in the academics, but also in some sports that they decide to took in,
Yeah,
they
like
also did very
basketball, they
well.
do a lot of basketball. They actually
Yes,
have a
they
lot
do a
of
lot of
players in the US
basketball,
doing good.
but I
They have
think also
players
that
here.
could have been,
Yep.
I
Yep.
think that would also could have been that it came from, the message came from the top, because the former principal of Maseno used to be the basketball coach. So
Yes.
there was no two way about it. You still had to, he was still very good in academics, at the same time he encouraged people to do that one. So I think that this is message, George, that needs to go to school management, that they need to strengthen the extracurriculum department. And also, just like Thomas said, there are opportunities for people who are good in sports, but also bright academically. They stand a better chance than if you are just one alone. Over and thank to you.
Yeah, if Philip, that's a very, very, very good point. The funny thing, when I had my kids, I used to post a whole bunch of stuff of me training them, on Facebook and YouTube, and my old coach, Goro Ronge, asked me, it's like, man, I'm surprised, you encouraging your kids to play sport, and my dad did not want me to play sport, I'll be honest with you. So sport has caused me a lot of problems. But it's also the reason why I am where I am. So he asked me, he said, what's the difference? And I said, because sport here pays, and it does not. My daughter goes to a school in Pennsylvania called Swarthmore College. It's a very hard school to get into. She got in because of academics and sports. She plays soccer there, and also she has an academic scholarship. The school costs $86,000 a year. I don't have that kind of money, in all honesty. So, like, that's why I said sports has been good to me, but it does not affect her academics whatsoever. My son is not as smart as she is, but he also goes to Boston College, actually, which also costs even more. Take a guess how come he got there? He got there through soccer. They both play soccer. In fact, George, my daughter, is playing in Canada this summer. Uh, she's actually playing right now. I don't even know what town it is that she is in. So sport, so that's for me, my family, my two kids every year. The tuition that I would have paid is about $150,000 a year. I don't even make that kind of money myself, so it's impossible. So sport is important, but you got to have a good balance between sports and academics, right? So I think our parents back home, have got something wrong, as far as sports go. Sport is very, very, very important. At least to me, I don't know, but it's part of what I scholarship is a big part of what people look for. George, I don't know if you agree with me on that one.
Yes, I agree. I agree 100%.
But again, like I said, for me, sports has already been what I've done, so it's different, it's a different perspective, for me. But it's been good to me, so I've been good to my kids. So I think it's very important.
Oh, thank you. We have Elder Charles. Please go ahead. Elder, you are muted. You are muted. Unmute, please, Charles. Unmute.
Okay, thank you so much. My name is Charles Mingowen. I'm a Mubei alumni, 85 class, 1985 class. Now this goes to Tom. Tom, my question is, I've got a young daughter who likes sports so much, and I keep watching her grow. Currently now,